half, 7. It's a good week-ish. Okay. Um, went to, well, of course, like did my work. Went to a Maserati event that my friends invited me to. Uh, it was good. Saw a lot of people that I know actually,
Hmm.
surprisingly. And oh, improv is actually pretty fun.
Tell me.
Yeah. So we do a lot of like exercises and stuff like that, and then we act scenes out, um, which of course is not scripted scenes; they're improv scenes. Um, and this week we went through emotions, and then like we had to do a scene, and then the instructor would stop us in the middle and be like, portray extreme like sadness or extreme happiness and stuff like that. And that made things really interesting and funny and a lot of fun to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys ever think about doing improv, it's I would say do it. Fun.
Well, maybe you can lead one of these sessions at our retreat here.
Yeah, I'll probably have to make notes of what the instructor didn't make.
Sure. You said that there's something going on at Costco for Scandinav?
Oh yeah, isn't I think every time I go check out like the gift cards area,
Yeah.
I think I see like a Scandina something spa
Yeah.
um gift cards. It's like $80 for $100 value.
Okay. So you're
Oh,
$20. Cool.
yeah, so you get like 20% back. So if you buy like multiple of those, you technically save 20% on, you know,
Oh, that's awesome.
whatever.
I gotta pick it up. I love Scandinavia as well.
Yeah.
And then the price is ridiculous. It's like 300 or 150 something dollars per person.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's a good deal.
Yeah.
So,
And you, yeah,
I mean, you said, Andrew, you're good for 2, 3 of December, right? Second and third?
first, second, was it first, second, third? The
No,
Saturday,
just Saturday, Sunday. So second and third.
yeah,
Okay.
first, yeah.
Clement?
Not anything then.
Actually, I have not asked the wife yet.
She'll let you go.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll have to ask her when she's awake. Okay, second.
We could always do a day thing too, right? If its schedules don't allow, we'll pick one day. But I want to book off 2 and 3 because that way, what I was thinking is going up to Whistler, doing the Scandinave spa. Hopefully by then in December the snow's out, so we can do some snow doing. You guys done that before? So like jet skis on snow, and then yeah, we'll have a good men's retreat and call it a weekend. We'll have the ceremony, the gala, everything's gonna happen there. So yeah, ask Sophia, that'd be great.
Sure.
And yeah, we'll check in with the other guys. Good. Glad improv's working out. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it. Andrew, what's up?
I'm good. I think I'm a 7.5, 8. Just a little bit more to think about for my life, my direction. Just saw my sister, brother-in-law, had a little bit of a talk with him, although it was the first time meeting up with him and actually talking. The kids are there, however, it's just I didn't open up the conversation because I just wanted to see what he wanted to talk about when we were alone, and it's just more asking questions about me or are you seeing anyone or just finding out a little bit more about me. And I'm like, okay, he seems like he's getting more and more comfortable. So maybe the next time, and it's my sister's birthday next week. So I said, this planet, and just a surprise visit that I'm gonna drop by. He's not gonna tell my sister. I said, okay, I won't tell my sister. I'm just gonna drop by and say hi. And so I think maybe the next time I could probably bring up
Nice. Good.
and just get closer.
I like how you're kind of easing into it and not just jumping straight to, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, I thought about it. I'm just like, hey, he's talking like nothing happened.
Mm.
Yeah, how's it going? This and that, and my mom was at his place, and just that atmosphere, that that awkwardness isn't there anymore with him. So I just got the feeling, I'm like, maybe it's just me. So let's just see where it goes.
Mm.
And maybe next time, I think the second or third time. I don't think the third, if it gets past the third, then it's just like too far.
Yeah, I think, well, in my personal opinion, I think, you waiting it out a little bit is a really great idea.
Yeah.
I want to ruin things, build the rapport first, then open it up. So yeah, great. Nice. Are you still stretching?
No, was I supposed to?
No, it's up to you. You
Okay.
want to use the
Well,
challenge.
do I stretch? Yeah, but not the I don't put my feet up on the chair or anything. I'm just like, okay, well, I'll do the same thing. It's a nice stretch. Thanks to Dave.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he inspired me to do the morning ritual too. So I've been Dave, speaking of Dave,
How's it going? Yeah.
talking how inspiring you are, my friend.
Yes.
All right.
We're talking about how inspiring you are for all of us.
Oh, cool. I'm glad.
Yeah. I do this morning flow ritual now because of you.
Nice.
And it's really easy. And I feel my body, my clothes are getting looser. It's awesome.
That's amazing. Nice.
Yeah. We're doing quick check-ins. So number and why. Go ahead, Dave.
7.5, 8. 7.5. Got the kids. Had a nice day yesterday with the family. But yeah, and just kind of going about things. I've been looking at getting a property with my parents for a while, and I haven't gotten any news for about a month from the mortgage, like the guy who gives us, I guess, the pre-approval, or who works on getting us the pre-approval.
Mhm.
And I sent him a message like a week and a half ago, still hasn't gone back to us. And like I'm a little worried, and like it's getting to that point where I'm like I'm getting antsy because I'm starting to. It's getting tough staying at my parents, like I don't know, the little things are starting to get to me, like my parents, they're I guess the way they live and their habits, and and the way that they kind of interact with themselves, with themselves and with my kids. And I'm like I think it's time for me to start looking for a place again, and but I'm waiting for that to kind of go through. So and at the same time I'm scared because like it's a lot of money to put, and to if I get a duplex, like that's a big mortgage to handle. And I have to really focus on getting someone to help with that, right? Like if I get a duplex, I'm gonna have to get a tenant, and that's kind of freaking me out. So I'm a little stressed out right now. That's what I've been dealing with. So yeah, 7.5, 8.
Jesus, 7.5, 8, and you have all this. Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to go any lower than that, I think.
All right. I love it. I love the optimism. I mean, you always got the support of the group, finding a tenant, all that. I'm happy to tell you what I know for sure. Clement is happy to help you too in the way he can. So finding a tenant is actually a lot easier than you think, in my opinion. I don't know about you, Clement. So
Is it finding a good one though? That's the thing that worries me the most. Like I've heard you guys talk about, the bad experiences you've had, or you've had friends that have had bad experiences, and I'm like, oh.
yeah, but you see, no one talks about the good ones because there's so many of them. It's kind of regular.
That's like the news, right? And all you
Yeah.
hear is shit that makes you go, what?
Exactly.
I don't hear a lot of good stuff.
I mean, the scariest part was finding a good one in terms of like finding background checks, but I have tools that you can use. I don't know about Clement. I use something called TVS. Do you use that, Clement?
I have that, but I don't use it.
Yeah. So TVS is like you can basically take their background info, you know, about their like their transactions, how much they have in savings, how much debt they have. Basically, it's just a background check, right?
Mm.
You can also do like criminal record checks too, I think. But finding one and securing them for the year, there are certain things that you look out for, and I'm happy to share that with you. And it's not that hard.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. When I get to that point, I'll definitely be reaching out to Clement and you.
And then, yeah, I mean, for the place, good luck. Hopefully you can reach out to this mortgage. Is it a mortgage broker? Is that who you're talking to?
Yeah, it's a mortgage broker. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you guys are planning on buying a duplex and you stay in one half with your family? And then the other
Yeah, 1/2 for the moment. My parents still have their house, which is paid off here in Montreal. We're in Dorval, right near the airport.
right.
And I don't know. I keep telling my parents because their place is too big. There's no one that really takes care of it, and it's just like they built it from in Dorval near the airport. This area was considered like in the 50s and 60s, more of like a really like even past the suburbs, but like the country where people would come and have like cottages and stuff. And it's only about 15, well, it's about a 20-minute drive from downtown. Um, so it was always like these small little bungalows and little like cottage style houses. And when my parents bought this one, they basically tore down everything but kept the foundation and then built like a much bigger house on top of it. And so that was like maybe not 20 years ago, but close to it. Yeah, 2005, 6-ish. And yeah, like it is new, but like that's it. They don't really take care of it. So like the house is not is getting a little beat up, and now my parents have to deal with the roof. My dad was saying is the next thing, and that's like at least 15-20 grand, and he's a little bit freaking out because he's retired. And I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to put. And I'm already like, I think of myself as, maybe I shouldn't be thinking of myself as this way, but a little bit of as a burden and a big stressor, because I am staying with my parents, and I'm helping out a bit, but they help out with my kids. And I look at my brother who's got his thing, like everything's kind of working in his favor. Well, he's worked hard, and he seems like he's doing well, but like I don't know, I feel like I've had a lot of setbacks, and since my divorce, and I don't feel like I'm helping out. But it's so hard to get ahead nowadays, with everything being so expensive. And I'm like, fuck, maybe I should have moved out in April or May when I initially when I was looking at a place. I'm like, but then I would have never gone ahead back then either, right? I would have just put myself in more of a hole because you're yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that's going through my head right now. I'm trying to focus on on what I should focus on, and it's just work and the kids, and like everything else just on the back burner. Like I don't want to think about nothing at the moment because it is pretty stressful.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, if we could figure out what you need to do next on this call, would that be amazing for you?
That would definitely help me out.
All right, let's come back to that. Hold that thought.
Thanks.
So I want to come back to Clement. Sorry, Clement, I know you. And I'll let you go first, man, because you're going to leave early today. Were you reading last time?
Oh, reading. I was reading, just not the same kind of reading that you guys are thinking of.
Go on. What do you mean by that?
I've been reading manhwa.
What is manhwa?
Manhwa. It's I think Mr. Jisoo Lee would know.
This is a cartoon.
It's a Korean version of manga.
Oh,
Uh,
All right. Well, we were gonna give you 5 minutes to educate us with your readings. So please.
Um, I don't know. Okay.
Here's the thing. First of all, no judgment. Cool. Read it. But now you committed to reading, whether it be manhwa or whatever literature you want to read. Let's see what you got out of it. Right? So maybe there's life lessons inside this comic book that you read. I know there's tons of stuff out there that we can extract life lessons from, right?
Um, yeah, I think sorry,
Yeah, no worries.
I see a bug just crawling on the floor, so I'm gonna grab it before it gets away. Yeah, so for I was reading something called solo leveling.
Solo
Um,
leveling.
yeah, solo leveling. I read it in English. Korean is too much if I read.
Okay.
It's I don't know if you can learn anything from that. It's more of entertainment because it's like this guy, he it's kind of got like this game features of like an MMORPG where these people have rankings on their power levels and they're supposed to go into these like um what do you call it, those um portals, and then those are like dungeon portals, and then you there's like a boss in there which you have to kill before the portal actually closes. If you don't kill the boss in there within like I think a week's time, the portal opens up for the monsters to come out. And so the main character is this guy that started off as the E rank, which is like the lowest of the low. He's like said to be like the worst of the worst hunters of all. Oh yeah, they're called hunters. And then after this one dungeon that he went into, which was supposed to be I think a D rank dungeon, but then this D rank dungeon suddenly is had another door, a big door that they were like, oh, what is this? They went into and it became a double dungeon. What a double dungeon means is there's a dungeon within a dungeon. And this double dungeon had like super strong monsters that this whole party could not really deal with, and they just had to follow the rules of the layer. And in the end, a lot of them got killed and a few of them survived. And how they survived was because the main character used his brain to tell these people what to do. And in the end, he was faced with the challenge of because these concrete soldiers were slowly walking towards them, and he told everybody not to leave, but then like if you run away now you could still live, but if you stayed then everybody could live, is what it is. But if you run away only you live. So in the end everybody ran away except for I think 3 of them. And since he was injured, he told the other 2, okay, if it's just the 3 of us, we won't all be able to live. So the 2 of you just leave and run away as fast as you can, and then I'll just die here, kind of thing. But in the end, for some reason, he lives. And then all those soldiers were like, and then he became like the strongest. He called reawakened and he became the strongest warrior. And then The whole story talks about him leveling up, blah blah blah. He's the only one that can level up and get stronger and stronger and stronger. And yeah, the story talks about it.
You know, at social norms, I have talked to all these, teachers out there. I think manga, anime, cartoons, they're not helpful, but I think they're actually very, very helpful, and it applies a lot to your life. You're talking about this guy leveling up from E to D and whatever. It sounds very similar to what you do in your everyday life as a realtor. You start off from nothing. You're the underdog. You face your fears, your challenges. You level up. You become the best realtor. Right. And the greatest part is the things that you read are typically the things that you associate yourself with or want to become. Right. So the meta messages are quite deep. And just listening to you, although it may sound trivial to most, I remember, and if I may with permission, Clement, I remember you saying you want to be a more seasoned storyteller that is more articulate, be able to tell stories better in a more fluent and impactful way. This is your chance to practice that.
Yeah, that's true.
If you think reading mangas, or I can't remember the manhwa is going to help you get there, sure, totally cool. But keep that in mind, because as you'll see, and I've noticed this the other day, time's ticking. And my daughter's in kindergarten already. I'm like, where the hell did time go? So choose your focuses wisely. And if you think it's going to help you, go for it, man. I got a lot out of that little story. I don't know about you guys. It reminded me of when I was starting this practice. Everyone runs away because they're too scared to do the sales. No one knows how to coach. No one knows how to, do the thing. But if you just stick through it and you stand your ground, people will come to you. And just the other day, I had like 4 people message me out of nowhere, like, "Oh, I need help. I need this. I need that." I'm like, wow. I've heard this. Stand your ground, stick to your guns. Sorry. And you'll see. And I think you've probably seen the same too, right, Clement? As a realtor, you stay a lot of people just jump ship after 2 years, be like, "Fuck, it's not working out for me."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What am I doing here? You go through the whole imposter syndrome, saying, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm not making any money. Got to find these clients as leads and blah, blah, blah. It's tough. But what's the name of the character? The main character?
Yi Ching Wu, I think it was. Oh no, I forgot the name. Something.
Shoot. Okay.
Like I said, I'm really bad with names.
Okay. So that's something you can practice too, is when you read them, as you tell the stories, remember the names. And I would love to, if it's okay with you, Clement, give you feedback on your storytelling. And I'll let the other guys tell you too.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Dave, go ahead. How did you feel when you was telling that story? Were you in it? Were you?
Yeah, I was in it. I was thinking of a video game I used to play that was sort of similar. And then I like to watch anime. So it kind of made me think of some animes that I have watched before. So no, it was entertaining. I liked it.
Coming out as an anime soon.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I've actually been watching I watched One Piece with my son. We watched the original, the actual anime. We watched it's over 1,000 episodes now, but I think we maybe made it to 500 or close to 500. And then we just kind of stopped, I don't know, about 2 years ago. And now they have the live action one on Netflix, which is about an hour long. I think there's 8 episodes, we're about 5 hours in, or 5 episodes in. It's not bad, it's pretty good. It's cool to see how they've taken, the episodes and kind of condense them, because that's it. Each season was I don't know, 30, 40 episodes. They've kind of condensed each episode into one of those seasons, which is pretty cool. Yeah, but yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed it. I like your Jade too. I think I have a similar one.
Oh, oh yeah, it's very similar.
Very similar, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Any feedback for him on how he can improve, if he can?
I think sorry, I'm a little distracted. Why are you running?
Where you going, Dylan? Where you going?
Sorry. Well, as you guys have been talking, I'm hearing like running and screaming upstairs and other downstairs. So, all right, guys, Dylan, put that away. You're gonna hurt your brother with that. I would say. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you. Okay. All right.
Can I play Fortnite?
You can play Fortnite. Yeah, you can play Fortnite. I would say I think I like the way you were describing the story, but I think it would have been nice to know about the main character before we'd started, or I think focus more a little bit on the main character before you had started explaining, I guess, the premise of the I guess the anime or that how do you say manhwa?
Yeah, manhwa.
Manhwa.
Cool. Thanks, Dave. Andrew, any feedback for him? You're on mute still. I don't. Oh, caught him mid-bite. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Within the first hour, it's a habit. I usually stretch and then eat. So I'm hungry as soon as I get up.
Good.
I think that's what usually gets me up in the morning. But it gives me more energy and I'm happier. Sure. While I was listening to this story, I've never heard of it. And I'm not a big fan of manhwa or manga. So when I see a lot of Asians particularly, they read a lot of comic books or the mangas that are black and white. I was never into it. And I never understood it, never looked into it either. However, I was more into like Calvin and Hobbes and Archie. I think it's just straightforward. But when I look at manhwas, it's like I don't know how they broke it up. It wasn't like sectional. It wasn't symmetrical. It was just like one's an I and then one's like and it's like, what the hell? Like I don't understand it. It's just I couldn't visualize it. It was hard for me. I guess does it have I don't even know. Does it have to do with me being like a visual learner, or it's just it wasn't interesting to me. However, I understood it more growing up. And then I saw Dragon Ball and I was interested in that, but I never read the books. I saw Naruto and I actually liked it. I actually liked Naruto. And I was just like, man, I feel like a kid, or Bleach. And I'm like, yeah, it reminded me of that. So when you were telling the story, I watched Naruto, I watched Bleach, and I'm like, yeah, it's always talking about a guy that's like an outsider or something. And he has a problem and he's overcoming obstacles, and he just wants to get better and better and help people and this and that. And there's always one thing that's always in there that doesn't stop him, even if other people do it, tell him not to, or they give up, or people look down on them. And I'm like, that's what reminded me of. I'm like, although it's an anime, and exactly, Alex, you just said it. Like people say, video games or this or that, they don't do any good for you. But for me, it puts me in a different mindset. It gets me going. I know it's just a story. I know it's just a book, but it's also like, what can I take from it when I read it? What can I take from it? I'm like, again, reality and this is different. However, that's what I want to do. That's where I want to be. Do I have to be the strongest person in the room? I'm like, no, but I would like to. And if I can, there's a lot of things that I can change and help people positively. And and that's what I realized more and more. And there's, as much as I want to help people, that's what I really, and it's like 40 years now, 20 years more, that I have to realize that I have to help myself more, and I don't want to think about it selfishly. So, Clement doing this, and then I saw One Piece. I'm not a big fan of One Piece. I saw it on Netflix just to get through it, but I was just like, what is this? My brother-in-law loves One Piece, but my take from it is just great. Good for you. I haven't found the time to read any comic books or things. So like, even for you reading, I don't know. I think that's a good thing. Anything that you read is good. Anything that you can get from it. Like although I was preparing the yogurt, I was watching you and how you explain how you talk. You're more confident, or you're more passionate about it when you talk about the manhwa. Like, it's you. Like, this is what I enjoyed, and this is what I was talking about it. So that's what I got from it. Any pointers? I'd be like, well, you're a realtor, you do what you do, and you have that direction where you want to be. And I'm thinking, if you can talk like that with that passion, without having that confidence and the passion, I think you're there. Like, you want to be a better speaker and this and that. I'm like, you are. Like, I just saw how you talk. I'm like, talk like that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Or listening, I was just like, oh yeah, this. And then it made me get what you were talking about, listen to it, and then what did I do? What do I like? And it just automatically made me want to relate to something that you did. Yeah. So that's why it made me think of Naruto and Bleach. And I'm like, yeah. And then as soon as Alex threw a comment out, like, yeah, you read and you see what you want to be in that situation. I'm like, yeah, I did that. I didn't know. But this is what I got from it.
Thank you, Andrew. That was very, very thoughtful and insightful. Really, it was. And just listening to you guys, I don't know if you've caught this, Clement, but you've inspired others to go back in time and relate to themselves and ask them, how does this relate to me? I'll give you the honest feedback. I love the way you tell stories. I think the greatest storytellers are able to take you there where they are when they're telling the story. And you took me there today. I was there. Were you there, Dave? So if you're thinking, am I a good storyteller? Am I articulate enough? You don't need the big words. You just need the meat of what you're about to tell them, and give them the value, the moral of the story. And that's it. So when you were talking, I was actually imagining myself as this guy, I don't even know his name, standing in front of these thousands of soldiers and two people standing beside me. My legs hurt. I can't move. I'm self-sacrificing. So go save yourselves. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, I'd do that too. And it was really great. And like I said, most social norms, people will think anime, cartoons are trivial, not helpful. But at the same time, this is your character. And I see you doing this as well. Do you relate to the main character? Is that why you pick up the book?
Well, no, I picked up a book because apparently it's gonna be like the next big hit.
Okay.
And also, actually, I don't like mangas and manhwas either. This was probably like the first one that I really got into, and yeah, so I was just like, well, this is I can't stop.
Perfect. And that's exactly your target. You are the target market of this manhwa, because you feel related to the content, and you're enchanted by whatever's on the pages, right? You're like, oh, I want to sucked in. I want to learn more, read more. That's exactly what you do for your clients. The people you attract are your people. So they're going to stick around and be like, oh, what does Clement have to say? How can he help me? All that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'll probably finish this manhwa.
my point being, your storytelling skills are there.
Mm-hmm.
The thing you can work on, if I had to suggest something, is maybe it's the environment you're in. You're wearing your suit or whatever when you're talking to clients. The environment really matters when you're telling stories, whether you know what's around you. Like if it's home, you're more comfortable. If you're in a office setting, it's a little different, right? And I don't know if you do this, maybe you do. When you're telling the story or about to describe something to someone, take yourself there first. By that, I mean, if you're going to describe a house, look at photos or go into the place first, and then visualize yourself there and walk through it as you're telling the story, just like you did today. And I think everything you say out of your mouth is sincere, it's truth, and that's how you build the trust and the rapport.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, some people enjoy the monotone, have more action, but you'll get that in your improv. Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to get out of the monotone part a bit.
The best exercise I can have for you, Clement, is record yourself. Record yourself telling a story and watch it again. Then you'll figure out what you can improve on.
Makes sense. Yes.
And you actually did that today. So I recorded this session. You can go back and watch the first, I don't know, 10 minutes of this call and see. Actually, I'll do you a favor. I'll cut it out. I'll post it on the thing and I'll ask for the feedback.
Thanks.
Cool?
Sure.
Oh, what are we looking at, Andrew?
Just a question.
Vin Jan?
Yeah, do you know who he is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just gonna ask about your thoughts on him because it just popped up on my what is it, Instagram, and I was listening to him talk, and I'm like, this guy's highly intelligent. He knows what he's talking about. He's very confident, and I was listening to some of them, and I saved a bit. So I'm like, I saved maybe three of his postings, and I'm like, I like it. So I followed him, and I listened to him. It's not bad, but it's very what do you call it? Educational for me. There's a lot to take from him. And I like how he speaks. However, I don't know what it is. That's why I want to know what are your thoughts on it, is why do I want to be more of a speaker like Jim Rohn, like an old, like 80-year-old guy, as opposed to Vin. Like I can listen to Jim Rohn like all day. I don't know what it is. But this guy, I can listen to him, take what I want, and then like, okay, next. That's it. So I don't know what it is. And if you guys can help me with that, that'd be great. Because I want to know, like, what do I have to do to speak like that? I don't know what the difference is. Because this guy's really intelligent and he knows what he's talking about. But I can't listen to him all day, every day kind of thing.
So it's very much like music. You can't listen to heavy metal all day. It's too tough. But there are certain genres of music that you can probably listen to for hours or a couple hours here because it's soothing, easy to listen to. You understand it, you resonate with it, right?
Do you guys think that too? So the way that someone talks, it's like music.
To my understanding, yeah. I mean, you grew up in an American setting. This guy's from Australia, Vin, right?
Yes.
So listening to his Australian accent all day, he's talking like this and blah, blah, blah. You talk with more confidence. He's it's just a lot everywhere. And it's hard to consume something that is just everywhere all the time, right? I mean, if you like it, great. But I think for you, you found your style that you enjoy more, which is Jim Rohn. If I remember Jim Rohn correctly, he's a lot more soothing and he talks like this. So you can understand at a good pace that is more intellectual and feeds your soul and mind as you listen further on, right? But then you got Vin talking like this and he says, yes, but you can have this technique that talks about yes and he's just It's a different style. And you know which one you like better.
Can you guys listen to it all day?
Vin?
I can. Vin captures my attention, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, then that is different.
So here's a great thing. You guys can be both. You can choose who to be like, depending on the crowd. Whether it be Vin or whether it be Jim. But you need to figure out what your crowd resonates with. Tonality, speed, intonation, all that stuff. Dave, do you know either Jim or Vin?
Yeah, I've heard of them before. Vin, I've listened to. That's it on Instagram. I've listened to a few of his videos, but those reels are so easy to consume in like a couple seconds. So that's it. You'll listen to one and then go on to something else, and then he pops back up in the feed the next day. And yeah, it's a few little things that seem valuable. But yeah, I don't know if I could listen to him nonstop for like half an hour, because it's really like, and he goes and it's a lot of high energy. And like sometimes you just want to get the message. I think like when you were pretending to be Jim, or it was just a little more soothing. It was more calm, and I usually think I gain information better that way for myself.
Yeah. So it teaches you about yourself and like who you resonate with, and yeah. Does that help, Andrew?
Yes, actually, and I know you recorded, but I'm just writing the key points, and that's how I take notes.
That's okay. Good. I'm glad. So Clement, I'm curious to know, if you were to give yourself feedback, what would you say?
One, I was not looking at the audience. Two, not standing up. Three, I'm not. I don't even know the hand gestures that I was doing, because I wasn't really watching myself. So I was just really into thinking about the story and how I should say, portray things out. And I noticed I used a lot of like as like filler words, like. Yeah.
Good. Perfect. Hand gestures were at a minimum. Your body, yes, definitely. You can change your body. It'll change the tone and and your presence. But I don't think you need to look at us, because I saw you and I was watching your eyes. I don't know if you guys know what the visual map is. So in NLP, I was studying, and when you look at somebody talking, okay, if someone's looking up to their top right, they are creating something visually. So they see it in their head, they're creating something new. But if they took to the top left, they're actually recalling something that has happened already. And if they're looking to the left in the middle, like ear level, they're recalling something that they heard. And then on the right, they're creating something that they want to hear. And if they look down, and this is actually what Clement was looking at, the bottom right here, maybe I can bring up the map for you. It might be easier. There we go. Yeah, share. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
So recall, construction, right? You have to understand that the face is kind of funny. The right side is actually a visual construct. Okay, so when Clement's looking at me, if he's looking at that point, I know he's looking at top right. And this matters if you're right-handed or left-handed. Okay, if you're left-handed, everything flips. If you're right-handed, this is what it's supposed to be. So Clement, I was watching him, he was looking at the bottom right, kinesthetic. And what that means is he's actually feeling it. So perhaps you can confirm this, Clement, when you're telling the story, something's going on in your body. You're feeling something, and you're focusing on that to see where you're going with the story, how to tell it. Maybe you're in it in your mind, and you can see the thousands of soldiers, stone soldiers. I don't know. What were you thinking when you're looking down the bottom right?
I was thinking of the story and like the movement of the story. I was pretty much thinking about the manhwa, the visual of it from scene to scene, and just watching him go through it.
Okay. Did you feel
And I was
anything
also,
body when
yeah, I
you
was also feeling it, feeling him,
that's
feeling
exactly
the story, actually, not him, story.
perfect. So I'm gonna guess, because you were looking on the bottom right, is because you were visualizing yourself as this character. You're kind of going through the story yourself as him.
I would say I'm more of a third, um, what is it? Third person view.
Cool.
Kind of thing.
Nice. So yeah, this is something when you're talking to somebody, guys, you can kind of tell what they're thinking or what they're trying to do, and hopefully helps you.
Mhm.
So Clement, there's your feedback, and the fact that you gave yourself feedback is actually great, because now you're aware of what you can improve on. Is there anything else that we can help you with today? Or actually, what is one thing you want to commit yourself to improving on this storytelling?
Good question. I don't know. What can I commit myself to? Practice, learning, or maybe review myself.
Okay, yeah, do it. So I'm gonna post this video on the pro group. You can go ahead and watch it and then review yourself there.
Mhm.
Give yourself like the deepest dive of a report card on yourself, and then put it in the
Okay.
comments.
Sounds good. I will do that.
And then one thing I would urge you, Clement, if you are serious about developing your articulation and whatnot, the types of words you read will help you boost your vocabulary and widen the spectrum. So pick a book that you actually will help you, for one, and then explore the vocab and use that in your next call.
I have been reading this one book before this. It's about real estate. It's about selling real estate. It's really dry, and I can see that the writer is very articulate and has interesting vocabulary that I would probably not use, and people that are, for lack of a better word, most likely Caucasian, older Caucasian that would use. I think that book would be a good start.
You serve a lot of Caucasians?
I would say mine is a mixture, but
No.
like mostly Asians, of course. But like I do serve like a mixture of other people too.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, if you think it's helping or it will help you, definitely go for it. Nice. Looking forward to your feedback, man.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Who wants to go next? Andrew, Dave?
I'll go next. The only thing is, I want to apologize because my kids are like in the other room and they can keep going in and out, so I might get distracted.
That's okay.
I'm getting distracted every 2 seconds, so I'm sorry.
Go for it.
So yeah, I think like I was saying before, I think my thoughts have been a little bit all over the place. Yeah, kind of looking for maybe a little bit of direction. Like I think I'm not sure on what to focus on at the moment because my thoughts are a little everywhere. I feel like I'm just drifting right now, just no purpose. Although work has been pretty good. I mean, work-wise, I've been getting a little bit more comfortable with just the different tasks that they have given us. There's a new type of training that we're going to start on Monday, which is basically like a recurrent training that we have to show all the employees. And it's going to group the many types of positions at our work. So we have some employees that will do more like of the physical work, actually, prepare the actual freight and do all of that operations work. Then we have the employees which are doing more of the computer stuff. So, like inputting the transactions, looking at documentation, more of the computer stuff. And then we have managers who will manage all those people. So it's pretty cool because, we'll be able to regroup everyone in the same room and, hopefully really focus on communication and why we do the things we do. And, sometimes, taking that extra step and taking 10 seconds to complete a task, how beneficial that can be for the next person who's gonna, be working on, the next step. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I might go to Philly next week, which is pretty cool. Never been to Philadelphia. Our station's opening there. I did like last couple of weeks, like I went to Washington, DC, and then I did Atlanta to like open up some stations, which were really cool. I was just there for the day. Like I thought I was going to do more, but I just kind of went there and talked and kind of showed them our different stuff. But yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable because I do remember when I started in this role maybe 2 years and a bit ago. Yeah, 2.5 years ago. Man, I felt so lost and I was like, why am I doing this to myself? And at the same time, one of my colleagues might be retiring. Well, he is gonna, it's pretty much sure he's gonna retire in June of this year. And I'm kind of freaking out too with that because, he wants to pass on all of the knowledge he has and his these different trainings that we've done. And yeah, I'm trying to figure like how things are gonna go with him gone because he's very much like him and my other coworker are very important parts of the training department in Montreal. And now it's just gonna be my other coworker and myself. And I'm like kind of freaking out because yeah, there's gonna be more responsibility on myself. And yeah.
So look at it this way, Dave. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. I know you got a lot on your plate. You always do, man. You got 2 kids, job, everything, house. I get it, man. But I'm trying to figure out, and let's kind of, there's an analogy I love to share with you. Mud in water, kind of like our thoughts when we have a lot of stuff going on. You shake it up, got the mud going everywhere. But then if you give it some time, what happens to the mud?
It settles if you stop shaking it.
Right. So let's stop shaking for a sec here.
Yes.
Okay. And I want you to kind of ask yourself, I know you got the kids going on playing Fortnite. What's the real challenge here for you, man?
That's the thing, I don't know. I find myself thinking a lot sometimes. I'm like, what's the next step? What do you want to focus on? What do you want to do? And it's like, well, I have all these responsibilities that I have and that, I just feel like I'm a leaf blowing in the wind and just kind of going along with things.
Okay. So you got, so we, and I'm going to urge you to do this no more. Let's go with the flow because I got nowhere to go right now. You're going to decide where you want to go next.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of this whole Kingsman thing.
Absolutely.
So when I know the real challenge right now, but yourself. And I want to know, what do you really want? And this is a loaded question for many, but this is really simple. It comes down to, do you want more freedom? Do you want more time? Do you want more money? Like, what is it? What do you want?
Yeah, definitely a little bit more stability.
Stability.
I want to be at the moment right now, I don't feel like I have as much control as I want to be where I am right now. I think financially and yeah, I just feel like I said, I feel like you said, that bottle of, of water with mud inside that I'm shaking around. That's just how I feel right now. And I don't have enough time to kind of just let things settle and then see what I want from there. You know, because I feel like as soon as I do start to take direction and start to do something else comes up, and then I focus on that, and it's hard for me to focus on one thing at one time. There's just so much, and I feel overwhelmed. I think that's the thing. I think a lot of times I am doing well, and then I get overwhelmed. And I'm like, oh shit, back to this shit storm of my life, and I don't know what to focus on.
Yeah, I don't know if I've shared this infographic with you guys, but you know, success and what it looks like. And there's a bunch of circles filled with water in it. Have you seen that? So day one, success looks like the circle's filled with water. Day two, the success looks like it's half full. Day three, the success looks like it's a quarter full. Day four, full water. You're going with the flow, you're doing the thing, man. And good on you for pushing through. But know that success is actually you just getting up and trying, and you take control with all these stretches that you've been doing. That whatever 15 minutes or 10 minutes is yours, and you created that. So use that momentum to create your next thing. And I think you gave yourself the answer. I just need some time for the dust to settle to figure out what the hell I want and what the actual challenge is.
Yeah, definitely could be. Absolutely. Yeah.
So you can make a move right now, but it might not be the right one.
Well, that's the thing. I think, to be honest, I think now that you're saying that and I'm thinking of my thoughts, I think the big move is I want to, that's it, regain a little bit more of the control that I had when I moved out. But I feel like at the moment, being, you know, still in my parents, I feel like I don't have it. There's certain ways that my dad will deal with the children. It kind of pisses me off. And as well, you know, the relationship I have with my ex, and how it just kind of gets, it's not respected, you know, and it is bothering me quite a bit that, you know, that my dad's like, well, I know best, and kind of fuck you. Well, that's the way I feel, you know. Maybe that's not the way he thinks, but that's the way I feel. But I know at the end of the day, he's doing as much as he can, and he thinks he's doing something right, so I can't, you know. I know there's never going to be a conversation about, because every time I try to have a conversation, he just shuts me down right away. So it's kind of like, instead of pushing, let me just kind of go around it and just accept it. But it's hard accepting the issue, you know. I think that's it. Yeah. And then that's it. And then I'm like, well, fuck this. Sometimes I'm like, fuck this. And let me just look for a place, just move. And then I'm like, well, that's probably not the best one, you know, because I have a lot of help, and I don't think it would be beneficial at the moment. So I kind of just linger and continue.
So know that lingering actually isn't a bad thing. Lingering with intention is actually very good. You are waiting for the answer to come to you, and it may not come today, it may not come in 3 days, it may not come in a week, but your answer is going to come. But you need to pull back a bit and look at what the hell's going on, right? And then ask yourself, what do I really need to do? So you have to make a decision today, man.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There are decisions I want, though, for like things like vacation and stuff like my cousin's she's going to Japan in March for March break, and I'm like, oh shit, I really want to do that with you and the kids, and I want to bring them to Disneyland over there. Like that was a big one. So I was like, okay, well, my plan was okay. Well, I'm saving, at least a certain amount of money every month so that that can be done by that time. So that was like the next thing that I was working on. I was like, that's my next thing. That's my thing that I'm going to work on. And that's going to push me to do everything I need to do and be in that mindset that, but then that's it. Then all these other things start happening. I'm like, oh, I have to deal with a lot of stuff right now. So, yeah, direction is not working.
There's a cat.
There's a cat outside the window. Okay. All right. Good to know. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're giving yourself the time in the morning, man. It just that's my mental schedule and capacity and load. How can we help you?
Said I think what you said, I think is kind of helped out. I think just taking a second to breathe and just yeah, I think I might write down everything that I'm going through. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe I should write down everything I'm going through, and then from there I can kind of figure out like maybe a game plan on how to deal with my feelings and how to do it. Maybe I think that would be it. Maybe some direction on how you guys would, how do you deal with your stuff when you have 1,000 things going on and don't know what to focus on?
Yeah, I'll here, I'm gonna share something with you before I'll let them share this. You see this? Call it priority quadrant.
Yes. Sorry. The reason that makes me laugh is because I've been helping people at work to pass certain exams so that they can apply for other positions,
Yeah.
Like promotions and stuff like that. And they always have this question, what would you do in this situation? And then they give you examples, and it's this exact quadrant.
Okay. So
Yeah.
do as you preach, my brother.
Yeah.
Daddy, for the $2 we have 154.
Damn.
$91.
Wow, that's nice.
But $90 of the $1.
Nice. Cool. So you put them all together? You gonna put them away now?
But I have to do the
This
5
goes for you too, Andrew.
cents.
I don't know if you use this quadrant thing, but it works really well.
You got it. I believe in you.
Okay, I'll start with 25 because
Low priority,
all of
low
them equals
urgency.
$1.
Tell me
do.
when we're done. Have your brother help you, please. Have Jaden do one now.
Oh, Jaden, he's my.
Jaden, do the quarters now.
But I put people in that quadrant, like people low priority, low urgency. I'm like, okay, they're a distraction. I'm like, they drink and party. I'm just like, yeah, they're there. I didn't. They're just there. Just don't bother them. The minute you message them, they're like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, I haven't heard from you in a while. Yo, let's go out for a drink. I'm like, okay, I'll go out for one drink. And they're like, and then you consistently call, they'll call you up, be like, yeah, it's fun, right? Yeah, let's go again. I'm like, no, as soon as I put myself in there, I'm like, I get sucked in there.
Well, just say no next time then.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dave, let's see this. And I think this would be a great exercise for you. Write down everything that you got to do, figure it out, and then put in the quadrants and then let us know. Share with them.
Would you be able to put the quadrants back up for a second? I'm just writing it down.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
You know what? I'm gonna push you. I want you to do this before the end of this call. You should be able to share this with us. Yeah. So I'll let Andrew have a turn next, but yeah. You think you can do that?
I think so.
And I want to know, kind of like as a wrap up for your session here, and Dave, what was the most useful thing for you?
I'll be honest. I think it's just like that you guys are listening, because sometimes, like I have these thoughts, and it's like, all these thoughts are going at a mile a minute, not a mile a minute, but they're just waving by me, and I'm like, wow, there's so much happening. Like, just focus, and having people listen to me, and just sometimes just hearing you guys being able to relate to some of the stuff I'm going through, or being able to give me some direction helps sometimes. Actually, it always helps. I feel like whenever I get on these calls. So yeah, I think just having someone to listen, to be honest, most of the time is just helps out. Yeah.
Nice. All right, thank you. Yeah, let's see that list. Get it done.
Okay.
We'll give you 30 minutes. And you can listen to Andrew. So I gave Clement kind of a challenge here. Clement, you ready?
I was listening to you, like, and I was looking at the questions. I'm like, wow, like, you go like this, off tangent.
I can't
Well,
see
not,
you.
I mean, oh, sorry. It's not off tangent. It's more like you talk about something, and then you bring it back to these questions, and then at the close to the very end, it's actually like, I don't think the questions were even there anymore, but I think you were still doing some aspect of the questions,
So
but you weren't really asking it. So I'm just like, I don't know if I can do that.
here's the challenge for you. Don't go off script. Just ask the questions and see how you do. You ready?
Sure.
And I if you feel appropriate, add your own story or piece of information that you think would help the person.
Mhm.
Okay, but you don't have to. So, geez, I'm gonna hand you off to Coach Clement here, because I promised him I would make him a better speaker. And I gave him a list of questions. It's a framework. I'll share it with you guys afterwards, but I would love for him to experience it for himself first. Okay. So Clement, take it away. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. I'm gonna go to the washroom, but please go ahead.
Okay.
This is framework for what? Sorry, this is the framework for what?
The coaching.
Nice.
Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I want that too.
Yeah, he'll send it to you afterwards too, he said. So yeah, Andrew, what's on your mind?
Right now,
Yeah.
what Dave mentioned, something about that, and then just put me back in Korea. And then I'm like, I need more control of this or that. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I got so much going on. My priorities change. My parents are just like, yeah, get married, have kids. And then I'm like, yeah, talk to you guys. You guys are married. You guys got kids. And I'm like, I'm okay where I'm at right now. But it does get to the point where I'm just like, I would be like there. Like the house, like I'm looking at Dave's house, and you're like, you have kids running around and yelling and this and that. And then it's just maybe because I'm not there. It could be frustrating, it could be this or that, but I'm like, that's something. Here, my house is just, it's quiet. I have that upstairs and whatever, they're loud, but I'm like, that have nothing to do with me. That's just like, those are my neighbors. And I'm like, I want to have my own area where it could be my house or my office or just my quiet peace place, or I could just go away, like Scandinavian spa. I go like once a year, and that's just where I would like to go, or just drive. However, I like action. I like things going around. I like things like that. There are days that I want quiet and just I like nothing. I can just lie in bed. I don't have to sleep, but I could just do nothing. I could sit on the couch and just do nothing. And when Dave talked about dad, it just brought me back to my dad. And I'm like, the things that he's thinking is anger. And when I drive and just like, the people that drive like that, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, man, he's so angry. And then I don't know what you guys think about it, but it made me think about this asshole move that I did on my dad. I don't know if it's an asshole move, but it just to see, I did something to see how he would react. So I'm like, man, so angry or whatever. And then I was driving, the guy cut me off, and I'm like, man, that guy is this bitch. I hate Korean drivers, like fucking retard. And my dad looks at me, he's just like, no, he's like, you got to calm down. You have too much anger. And in my head, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. I'm just like, you do the exact same thing. And I'm like, so when I was in Korea, I was having fun with that because I started laughing. My dad's like, you're laughing. And I'm just like, he's like, that's what psycho people do. They'll get angry and then they start laughing. They're like, what are you thinking? And I'm just like, no, I'm just like, that guy's a fucking idiot. I'm like, Dad, you're right. But then in my head, I'm like, I just said it, you're right. But I'm like, this shit is funny. I'm gonna do stuff just so that, because when I did that, if I do it more often and he sees that I'm more angry and he's just like, yeah, you're angry and this and that, he's like, you got to calm down, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden he's just like, you might not realize it, but there are some things that you are more like me, so you might be quick to anger and this and that. I'm just like, that's exactly why I did that. I'm like, fuck. And then I don't know, because even when I keep talking to him, like, Dad, calm down, chill out. Like, it just feels like I'm nagging and nagging. He's just like, oh, and then he'll shut up for a bit. And then a few seconds later, he'll do it again. I'm like, it frustrates me. So I don't know. I don't know if it's what I did or why I did it. I was like, let's mirror some of this shit and see what he gets out of it. Because I know some of the times when I do things, not only do I learn for myself, is I learn from what other people are doing, and then I see what I'm doing, and I try to relate to it. I'm like, why is he doing that? And part of me, it did get me stressed when I was thinking, why is this person like that? Why is that person like that? And when I keep thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know why someone is doing something every single time, because someone is always different. However, it's just, if I look at someone, they're doing something, like specifically my dad, if he does something like that and he's angry, I'm like, it could be his personality or it could be a certain situation. It's just whatever, he's doing it because he is. And it comes down to it, it's like, what do I want to take from it? And when I started realizing that, it just brought me back to it. I'm like, I like smiling. I like happy things. So there are times where when I scroll or just, I was shocked when I did that TikTok. I looked at the time and people like, you could scroll for like 10, 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, no, fuck that. I was surprised. I scrolled for 3 hours watching shit. And I'm like, I looked at the time, like, hey, no wonder I was hungry. I'm like, I didn't know 3 hours went by. And I thought, I'm like, I'm an idiot. I'm like, how did I do that? But when I talk to friends, some friends are like, yeah, I had to delete the app like 3, 4 hours. 3 hours is nothing. I've done that for like 8 hours. I'm like, how do you scroll for 8 hours? They're like, how do you scroll for 3? I'm like, you're right. Like, you could do nothing. You could lie in bed. You can scroll. You can, be around your kids, but not really be with them. Just there, and you could still scroll. You can have dinner, scroll. But I'm like, but they start to realize, they're like, you do that, and your kids started scrolling too. And I'm like, oh, okay. So when I go back to my bed, I just started looking at things. If I was angry and this, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be this. What? I don't want my dad to be like that. And I just thought, if I change and and I put myself in a different environment and circumstances change and I can help and I can put him in a different situation, if I can take control of that, I think his perspective and things will change. Because when I met up with my aunt, what got to me was, she said, your dad was never like that before. He was, of all 8 brothers and siblings, my dad was the only person that had no problems with anyone. Men, male, female, older, younger, everyone looked up to him. Everyone liked to be around him. You can have like 3, 4 girls that sleep next to him, but he won't do anything. He'll take care of everyone. He'll be like, okay, put a blanket on you and this and that. So people are like, how does a guy in that generation do that? I'm not. And that's when I realized, I'm like, I can do that. I'm like, why does everything have to be like physical or sexual? Can I have a girl sleep next to me and I do nothing? I'm like, yes, I can. I'm like, I was surprised my aunt said that. But then there must have been something that happened to him, or trauma, or he's angry that he can't control the situation. So he's like that. And I wouldn't have known that until my aunt brought that up. And I think that's one of the reasons why my aunt is having a difficult time meeting up with him. So what got to me, and I was thinking, again, is how can I help my dad? But at the same time, it's not only helping my dad, it's that's what gives me peace of mind. That's what gives me happiness. And you know, we talked about it last time, even with Alex. I'm thinking, what can I do and set up here and have it going so I'm okay that when I come back to Canada, I have something here. But I would like to plan for myself to, you know, be remote or be in Korea. What can I do and create something that I can sustain and have as something stable? Running here in Korea, just wherever I am, have that freedom. It might be, I think it might be easier now than 20 years ago because of the internet. However, that's what's on my mind right now. Making my parents happy, helping them change their mood. It'll help me be happier. That's what I guess gives me a little bit more fulfillment as a son. What can I do that makes me happier? You know, I talked about this with my cousin. He's just like, think about your life. You know, if your parents die, you have no one. You don't have a wife. You don't have kids. If my parents die or my mom dies, I got my wife. My wife dies, I got my kids. He's like, you got no one. I'm like, am I gonna be a fucking asshole about that? If everyone dies and I'm just by myself, I'm like, that's okay. I can give everything to my sister. I'm okay with that. But he's like, no, that's not life. I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, that's your life. My life is different than your life. But again, it's just, I'm like, I guess, you know, we think differently. But you're right. When I do get married and I have kids, they are going to be my whole life. That is that. But I don't want to be the type of person that's like, sorry, mom and dad, you know, my kids are more important. You're not. I think of it as, I want this whole family. Who's more important, mom, dad, or my kids? I'm like, everyone.
Okay, hold on. Can I pause you right there really quick?
Yeah.
So Clement, you're going to come up with this often, especially with older people, they love to talk. Okay. And I mean this in the most, I mean, not saying you're old. I mean this in the most respectful way, Andrew. So how do you cut off a person in the most respectful way? Without offending them or be like, hey, you know, you talk too much, shut up. So the way I like to do it is, Andrew, I hear you. I understand that whatever you're about to tell me is really, really important. Right. But just being cognizant of time, we only got about half an hour. And actually, Clement has to leave earlier than that. Okay. I got one question for you. Go ahead, Clement. And try and rephrase that on your own.
You want me to keep going again?
Rephrase it?
I can keep going.
I need to rephrase it.
You asked me what was on my mind. What am I thinking about nowadays? That's a lot of shit that's going on thinking about in my head, dude. I got a lot of Dave just shuck all this mud and I'm like, fuck.
Well, it's great that you know that there's a lot on your mind. Like, so what's the real challenge here for you?
Yeah, I just, bro, like, what can I do in the oh, it's not even a year. Oh, it is just shy of a year. By next summer. I want to set something up so that I can spend more time in Korea. Like a month is not long enough. If I'm able to spend 2, 3, 4, 5 months, great. If I could do half a year, great. I don't think I'll be there more than a year, but even if I have to, I would like that freedom to do that.
So this is an opportunity for you, Clement, to get really clear on what he wants. Rephrase what he says in 6 words or less, or get him to do it. And see if you understand it.
Get him to do it?
Or you.
Hey, could you rephrase it in 6 words?
Can I have this template too?
Yes, you can. I'm gonna share it with you after, okay, all of you. But so the reason why I say this, Clement, is because it sounds like he's not even clear yet. He's kind of
Mhm.
there, but if you can say what I want in 6 phrases or 6 words or less, then he'll know exactly what to do. So
Like
Andrew,
me
what I heard,
rephrasing it for him? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So what I heard is by next summer, I want to set something up. Now, this something is obviously you know what it is exactly, or don't know what it is exactly, but see this framework of set something up by next summer.
Finances.
Up by next summer. Yeah, 6.
Hmm.
Sound
Get
about
my
right? Andrew?
finances. Get my figure out how to build that income stability before next summer. Is that less than 6? I don't know.
It's
But
not
that's
less than 6, but that's good enough. Okay, you want them to be concise about it. So build the income stability by next summer.
Mhm.
So that is what he really wants. That is the challenge. Okay. So now comes the question.
How can I help?
How can you guys help? That's what my concern is. That's what that. Yes, you guys can help with listening, networking, everything. How can I get this citizenship, things like that, that I know I can't work in Korea right now. It's a complicated situation. That's why that's another thing that's on my mind. I don't know if I did brought it up to you with you guys, but my grandpa put my name in the Korean history. So if I'm in Korea and something happens, I can be enlisted to the army. But if I go into Korea after my 40th birthday, then I don't have to go. So
Well,
apparently I'm a Korean citizen too. I have a Korean citizenship, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that until like 4 or 5 years ago. My parents didn't know that until it wasn't 4. That's like 2017. They didn't know until something like that either.
So now I'm curious, what is the population of Koreans that could be enlisted if something were to happen? Like, what's that number?
I don't know.
How many people live in Korea? Let's see.
South Korea, Seoul, 45 million.
Okay, so they're gonna go, say roughly half of it were male.
Yeah.
20-ish million. They're gonna find you to come back to Korea and enlist and do something for the country.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So let's say if I work or something will get flagged. If I work in Korea or my information, or I get to the police station and they look it up, as soon as that's what I heard. But I'm like, just be chill. Just they're not gonna go looking for me.
Yeah.
But if my name pops up, then it's flagged.
Likelihood of that is not high. You're not gonna do any shit, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this 40th is July 2024. So
There you go.
as soon as July 2024 hits it, and I'm just like, I'm free.
Sweet.
So I understand what Dad's concern was. When I'm in Korea, he's like, drive safe, this and that. He's like, don't do stupid shit. I'm like, I don't do stupid shit. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so sorry, I didn't mean to take it off on a tangent there, Clement. You can reel it back into what he really wants, and then ask the next question.
When do you have to leave, Clement? How much time do you
What-
have?
I think I need to go now. Wait, so how can I help?
Try and ask that again with more affirmation and more.
So how can I help, Andrew?
To be clear, I would like to have 2 income streams, minimum 2. One from Canada, one from Korea.
Um,
I would like to. I would say, do I need it? Yes, I'm gonna say I need it. I'm gonna need it because if I say I need it, then I will do it. So I need two income streams, and that's what I want. That's what I need, and that's what I want to plan for.
We're not going to go into those details in this because, you know, Clement, if we start talking about this, we can go for hours to figure out what those two income streams are. So
We can go for hours.
we
I
can.
go for
So you know now what he wants to do. Two income
Mhm.
streams, one Canada, one Korea. Okay. He knows you. He answered the question, how can I help?
Mhm.
We're going to help him brainstorm and build it. Okay. But now go to the second last.
If you're saying yes to this, what are you saying no to?
settling down, finding a wife, and having kids in Vancouver right now within the year. Because someone's like, "Hey, you want to get married?" I'm like, "Nope, sorry, I'm gonna leave." Unless you want to. No, you can't follow me to Korea. Maybe I'll find someone in Korea. Who knows?
Maybe.
Some boji. Dave.
I don't think that's too hard for you, brother.
Dave young have boji in Korea. IU.
Korea trip?
Yeah, anytime you need a wingman in Korea, you let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so 2024, we could do some awards maybe in Korea. Who knows? Maybe if there's a challenge and I lose or something, you guys can come. I don't want to say if I lose. Someone loses, you guys can come.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So that's actually a big no. I don't know if you picked up on that, Clement. Knowing Andrew, knowing the context of where he's coming from, saying no to a long-term relationship, family, like this is a big part of his life. And he's saying no to that to build these two income streams that is more important than all of that stuff.
Mhm.
Hearing that back, what does that sound like to you, Andrew?
Hearing what you said to me, what you just said about the situation.
Yeah. You want
Yeah,
these two
I agree.
income streams so much that you're willing to forego family, settling down, having kids. That's what you're saying no to.
In Vancouver at the moment within this year.
Okay, good.
And
So
I
it's
say yes because I say no to that because unless plans change, I don't think I can commit to someone. I can commit to someone, and it's not respectful to commit to someone when my goals are to go in that direction.
fair enough.
Unless they are like, you know what, I have a great opportunity and I find someone and like I would like to go to Korea and I have a house and then something like, you know, I have a house in Korea, you can stay at my place, you can stay at your parents and things like that. I have a business in Korea and I have business here too. So hey, let's do it together. Then I'm just like, holy shit, then maybe. But you know,
You never know. And as we know, life kind of throws things at us at the least expected times. So wrap it up, Clement.
So what was most useful for you?
we're going to play basketball. uh what's most useful? Yeah, really just listen to this again. Prioritize and confirm, and then continue to go that direction. Unless it's a really big change. Like, I don't know, it could be anything. There's a big investment that comes up. They're like, hey, let's do business, and big investment comes up. That for some reason, like someone wants to invest in, open up a school or something. I think that's gonna make me stay here minimum 2-3 years. Then that's gonna make me think again. So at this point, what's useful is brainstorm what I can do.
And that's your conversation for the next call. Congratulations, Clement. Wonderful job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm satisfied.
So you can use this framework. I'm going to share with the group now. You can use this framework for basically any conversation to dig down. You don't need to talk about the air fluff stuff. You just go straight into the meat and figure out how you can help a person. Because, here, this is actually from a book by one of the coaches that I follow. His name is Michael Bungay Stanier, and it's called The Coaching Habit. And essentially, this framework that I share with you guys is a great grounds and a fundamental for any good conversation. If you're in the business of service, if you want to help people, this is how it makes my life very fulfilling. So I don't know about you, but usually service comes with reward or reciprocity. So that's why it's a good thing to dwindle in.
Mhm.
How is this for you, Clement?
I felt like I was like looking at the questions. I'm like, man, how does this kind of apply to this? Like, if I ask this, it seems kind of unnatural to ask it. So that's why I was like, I don't know whether I can ask certain questions, or like when was the best time to ask certain questions, kind of thing. So I was just like, I don't know, because I'm looking at the questions and I'm like, wait, when do I ask this? Like, he's talking about this. When do I ask this?
So you asked it. How did it feel?
It felt awkward to ask it at first. I'm just like, will he feel like it's like, "Ooh, what kind of question is this?"
Mhm.
You know, for certain things. So that's
And how did you feel when you were listening to it, Andrew? Like, was it kind of disjointed? Was like, why are you asking me this?
No, I was more focused on what Clement was asking, and I wanted to know more about what this template thing was. Yeah, I was listening to what his next question would be, because if it me talking, maybe it might have been harder for Clement. It's just because I answered all his questions before he asked.
exactly.
And that's great.
I'm just like,
You know,
oh,
to have somebody reiterate what they're trying to say is a great thing too, right?
Yes.
mhm,
Yeah.
And for you, Clement, you have to understand that when you're talking to a person, they're up in their head too. They're not worried about the next thing you're going to say. They're worried about the next thing they're going to say.
mhm,
So you have a framework now for approaching any conversation to actually help a person. And you can imagine asking this question, you can change it a bit for any client or any person that you talk to. Right? To help them get where they want to go. I want to find a house. I want to find a duplex. I want to find a mortgage broker, whatever it is, right?
mhm.
Yeah. I hope this helps you.
Yeah, it does help. It's just still very new and daunting, and I don't know if it works in every situation. I'm just like,
I'll tell you by experience, it works in every single situation.
mhm,
So don't worry about, like, you can tweak it a bit, but don't worry about the framework. It works.
mhm.
And then I would invite you to do this for the next couple calls as you're kind of leading it, right? So
All right.
great job.
Well, he's not going to start till October.
Oh no, he's starting now until October. So end of October.
Oh, end of October. So I'm in the next call, and then he's leaving to play basketball like professor. Have you seen?
Professor? Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Professor, the street baller.
Yeah, the white guy. That guy's crazy.
He's pretty crazy.
I want to play like that guy.
Yeah.
I want a lot of things.
But he's not a good shooter. He's not the greatest shooter. He's good at the moves.
Yeah. Well, he's no Stephen Curry, but
Mhm.
he can do quite a bit. And he doesn't
Mhm.
look that tall either.
Yeah, and he's not young anymore, I think.
All right, I'm gonna reel this in. Come back to Dave here. Dave, you want to show us what you got?
It's not muddy anymore.
A little
Scratching
bit.
his
No, I'm
like,
dealing with
"Fuck,
these
Andrew
babies.
messed up my mud.
No. I'm dealing with the little guys.
Oh no,
We're having a little
okay.
bit of a discussion here. I told them to take. We have this little piggy bank, and they're counting it up. They're counting. Well, Dylan was counting it, and then Jaden was distracting him, and now they're all fighting. So
I didn't want to fight.
you didn't want to
Started
fight.
it.
You're like me, buddy. I didn't want to fight
You're
either.
the one that started it. No,
Okay.
but I didn't want to fight. Too bad. Why did you just
Okay, so, what did I have? What are some of the thoughts I had? So the one I was thinking about was,
Actually, just
Yeah.
to concise the conversation, what's in your do first?
So the big one was probably do meaningful things with my children when I can do them right away. I want to put that first
Okay.
at all times. That was always do it. The one on don't. It's funny when Andrew was talking about the scrolling on TikTok and Instagram. I go through that doom scrolling all the time too, buddy. And I put that one under don't do or delete, but it's tough because it is it is like so easy to just have it. Yeah, just pass time while you're watching this stuff. But yeah, probably not the most useful stuff to do.
I'm gonna actually give you guys something. Opal. Have you guys heard of the app called Opal?
No.
OPAL. Go download it. Use it for like a week. It's the most frustrating thing ever. It's a time limiting app, so
Ah.
it'll shut off all your Facebooks for like the time you set it for.
Okay.
So like I don't know, work time 9 to 5, with the kids time 6 to 7, whatever, right?
Mhm.
I've used it for a couple of weeks. It's so frustrating, but it helps a lot, and it showed me the reduction in the doom scrolling and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I use something similar called Stay Free.
Stay free. So definitely do it, because you're doing 3 hours on doom scrolling. That's kind of concerning, man. You're on mute, Andrew.
Yeah, I did that before. No,
Oh.
now I do. Now I don't, because I was actually scared.
Okay.
I'm like, now it's maybe you add it all up. Oh, maybe it might come out to like 2 hours if you add it up, like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, and then throughout the day, and then maybe in the evening. And if you add it all up, I think maybe, yeah, it'll add up to about an hour or two.
Yeah.
But I was shocked and stopped when I was scared. 3 hours straight, like no. Yeah, I think when I'm thinking about it, yeah, I think I went to the washroom and I held it too. So then I was like, what the hell am I doing? So when I think I realized when parents are with their kids or eating or something like that, their grandparents and them, and I joke about it. I'm like, hey guys, look, mom, dad, son, and kid, everyone's on their phones. Like when I'm in the taekwondo lobby, I'm just like, hey, you are all here. We're all on their cell phones. Look at that. That's pretty funny. I'm gonna take a picture of this. And they're like, why do you do that? I'm like, this is funny. No one talks anymore. And they're like, okay, does that mean put your phone away? I'm like, no. Just I just think it's funny.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, the Opal, I don't have, it's Opal Travel, Opal Health, Opal Transfer. I don't have it. Opal Empire?
Let me see here. Sorry, go ahead, Dave. What else is on your list here? It's called Opal Screen Time for Focus.
Oh, I can't get that. Opal Screen Time. Oh. No. Minimalist phone.
Try
There-
try Clements maybe because you use Android, right? And he's on Android. Stay free.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I have Stay Free.
Give it a shot. I mean, you don't need to, but if you want to.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead,
don't want
Dave. What else is on your list?
So I want to make at least $6,000 for my spring bake with the kids when I go to Japan. So I'm definitely gonna have to schedule that or delay that. I mean, well, I'm gonna find a plan to make that amount of money in 8 months. 8 months or less. Jeez, wait. 6 months. Okay.
$1,000 a month. Wow.
$1,000 a
Okay.
month. I'm gonna find a way. Yeah, I'll find a way. Yeah, a lot of overtime. A lot of Uber. So that one I have to schedule.
That's in the do first quadrant.
Well, it's I have to schedule it, right? Yeah, like I figure I have to schedule that. But I have to, it is high important. Yeah, it is. It's not like I have to do it right away. It's not urgent, but it is. It's important, but it's not urgent. Like a
So you're gonna delay it.
schedule it.
This is the time to decide. You got 6 months. I mean, the more you delay, the less time you got.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, no, it is pretty urgent. I gotta start doing that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Let me move that. Let me move that. The move out or get my own place. I mean, that I don't think there's a rush on that. It is important, but there's no rush on it. So I don't need to like break my head over it and have all these crazy thoughts about. So I will delay that or schedule it or delay it, but that's it. I'll try to get more in contact with that person who I was saying the mortgage broker. I'll send them another email to this week. You know, it's been almost 2 weeks since I sent that first email. It's been over a month. They haven't responded to me. So
Good.
yeah.
I told you. Stop touching.
You guys hearing that?
Yeah, if you got to do some mitigation, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah. No, I love this exercise. You know, they just putting everything down in front of you really, really helps. Which, by the way, I'm going to be sending this to you. I don't know if Clement's still there. I've created this entire map for next year of Kingsmen.
Nice.
So I'm going to be sending this to you guys fairly soon. I'm hoping not next weekend, but one of these weekends soon. Clement and Andrew, if you guys want to get together for a board meeting,
Yes.
we'll do some brainstorming, figure out what we're going to do for the next year. And I'm going to go over what we did this year. So. You got to go, Clement.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.
Yeah, have fun.
Will do.
So this thing, you're talking to your brother-in-law, man. That's great.
Yeah, I just and I realized after it was done, it was more, I don't know, it's more of an icebreaker, just spending time with him. And who knows, maybe he'd let me talk because he knows. And I think that's what opened it up because I didn't bring it up. I was talking about this and that and Korea, and I think that made it more comfortable for him to just listen. And then I asked him, I'm like, so what's on your mind?
Good
And
question.
that's when he started going out. Yeah, I'm like, because I don't know. I honestly, I didn't even know where he worked or this or that. I thought he was studying, and then he went off. He's like, yeah, I started go. So I got my realtor licensing, and I just have to pay for if I want to keep it, I have to go through a broker and this and that. I was just like, okay, he's slowly opening up. But at the back of my head is still, I don't want to be like, what happened? the second time we meet up. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let's break the ice, like break this weirdness here first.
Good.
And then later on, like it's me. So later on, I think when I wanted to be comfortable, like, hey, yeah, we have beers and this and that. Oh, by the way, in a good situation, be like, you know what? I've been thinking about this for the longest time. I'm not there now, but I was curious, like, what happened? And I think it's just me. Like, and another thing is because I thought about this, I'm like, if I'm able to stay here in Korea or this, that, I need my sister to be okay, my brother-in-law to be okay, my mom to be okay, so that I can go back and forth, so that I can't focus on this thing. I need him to be okay and take care of that side of the family, and him to be the man if I'm not here.
Yeah.
He's the only person that I'm going to be able to rely on.
You got to build that trust, man. Well, actually, no, you have us too, by the way.
Yeah.
If you need help with Mom and Nicole, yeah, please.
Alex, my brother-in-law, this and that, like, fucking knock the shit out of him. She got nowhere to go now. Hey, jujitsu his ass.
I'm being very sincere. If anything comes in a pinch, please don't hesitate. I'm always happy to help, especially you guys are like family now, right?
Yeah.
So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Go ahead, Dave. You wanna wrap this up?
Yeah, one that I've been like, when we were talking about doom scrolling, one that I've been doing, like, so I haven't been dating been online or doing any of that online dating for a long time, but I restarted this week, and I've noticed that it's pretty much very similar to like the doom scrolling, where you keep going and you're looking. And I think it is important. It is something that I want, I do want to find someone to hang out with, more than just doing stuff, like, getting my physical needs done. I do want to find like more of an emotional relationship with another woman, but it's not super urgent to me because I have my own shit I'm dealing with. So I feel like I'm gonna delay that. So I think I'm just gonna delete the app, and because that's it. I don't think it's giving me much. I just kind of waste my time on these apps, and most of the time it doesn't really go anywhere. So I figure if I meet someone, it's gonna be probably in person, which I think is much better. I'm not gonna waste time on shit. Yeah,
I did that too. I was like, no. I'm like, maybe, and I did that for a while. I did that. I noticed I caught myself doing that for like 3 or 4 days, and I'm like, fuck. I like, can you kids hear me?
no, they're watching TV.
Okay, but I'm like, this is stupid. I'm like, why am I on this app to meet someone? And I'm like, no, I've got priorities. I got to spend time with this. And I'm like, I don't have money for this, like, meet person. I'm like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I'm like, yeah, it comes down to it. I'm like, I don't have the luxury to, meet someone new unless it happens spontaneously or this or that, or through like whatever. No. So I'm just like, no, I can't scroll this and that.
Good. Okay, so you're gonna put that on the delay.
Yep.
Anything else that you want to share?
So the stuff with my dad, I don't know, like, I didn't really know how to approach that, because it is something that is, it is important. I've been thinking about it a long time, and every time I talk to him about it, it's just like I get shut down. So I don't even know how to approach that. So I don't know if I should. I feel like maybe once I get my own space, it would be something that won't be as an issue, or maybe it just will be. It'll always be an issue, and it's just something I have to deal with. So I put delay or don't think about, because there's not much I can do about it, So I'm trying to figure out if it is important or not important to me.
Well,
It's yeah.
I would like to offer kind of a fresh perspective. I mean, you can't control other people, right?
Yeah.
But you can control how you react to it.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that's something I want to tell Andrew too. This is word for word verbatim that I heard you say help my parents change their mood will make me happier.
Yeah.
That is a very dangerous game because your happiness is determined on their mood.
Yeah.
I would urge you not to play that game because if they're down, and they will be because they're human at some point of the year, you will be down too.
Yeah.
So there are better ways to give them the tools and help them deal with that, so you're dissociated, so you can maintain your high level of mood. But if they're down, that's okay. That's that's part of life. Everyone feels sad, or everyone feels down, or whatever. But they're your parents. They know how to deal with it, right?
Hmm.
But never associate your energy level with another person's. You control yours. But you can help them. No one's saying you can't.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. And for both of you, and I love the way you do it, Andrew. The modeling, you have shits and giggles with your dad being angry and whatever.
Yeah.
The best advice anybody can give you is actually their own. So I would actually take it from Andrew's book, Dave, and do the same. You can even try and do the modeling with your dad and make him realize what he does, rather than saying, hey, Dad, can you change? This isn't working for me, or my kids don't appreciate it, or whatever, right? Like, this is just you telling them what to do. It's prescriptive.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't smell or see the shit that they have. Just because they've been that way their whole life.
Yeah.
But then Andrew, I love his way. It's a very passive, actually very generative approach. Is, hey, don't do that. You're a lot like me, son. And he didn't even say anything. He just being his dad, so to say, right? So there's creative ways of doing it. Get your dad to realize, but he has to see it and feel it, just like Andrew's dad did. To be like, oh, wait, something's up. Who else is like this? Oh, I am. Right.
Yeah.
The decision to change has to be his, but
Of course.
you have to first realize something's going on. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love, like, it just makes me laugh because especially these interactions with my youngest son, and because my youngest son is a lot more independent. He's very like he's always very not aggressive, not combative, but what's the word I'm looking for? He's just always willing to stand up for himself, and he's just like, their characters are so similar. Like, they're very much the same, where as soon as he gets challenged, my son is going to challenge him, and he does the same thing, and then my dad's like, oh, what the fuck, why is he why is he like that? And I'm like, I'm looking and I'm like, dude, he's exactly like you. You're literally the perfect role model for him, because he acts the exact same way you do. And then you wonder why he's acting the same way. And I'm like, and I'm there just chill and calm. And it's like, the more you get heated, the more he gets heated. What do you want? Like,
Do you tell
and
your dad?
I'll point it out sometimes, but he's like, oh, whatever, And then it's it's almost to the point where, like, I don't even want to point it out to my dad, because I don't want to deal with the anger that comes around with it, and I don't know, the interaction that comes around with it.
So here's another fresh perspective for you, and maybe you've seen this already or see it already. Your dad is old.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to change the brain wiring in there, because it's all like soldered down, and you're not going to undo that.
Yeah, for sure.
However, your son is still young and malleable.
Yes, absolutely.
So you, as a father, you're a great role model. You sound like you have a very calm demeanor. Help him see that way. Have those conversations. Be like, I get it, man. You get frustrated, you get pissed off, and this happened, and you get energized and all that stuff. But there are better ways of doing this. And it's like conversations you have with your son over time. How old is, you said Dylan? Is it Dylan?
But yeah, Dylan's 10.
So he's still time because
Yeah.
who he's going to be for the rest of his life. Typically, they say is from 0 to 10 is how they get that foundation.
Yeah.
But he's still got time to help, build that foundation. And it's not to say it's too late after 10 too. You just got to keep working on it, right?
Yeah,
Just it's harder. That's all.
for sure. For sure.
So your dad's going to be your dad. But Dylan is you. He is your son. You don't need to have that generational hereditary anger or whatever passed down onto him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So maybe moving out is is more on the important list. Oh man.
No, well, you can run away from it all.
Yeah,
Or you can give Dylan the tools
that he
to
needs.
beat it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we can't keep running all our lives, right? That's just tiring.
Yeah, absolutely.
So stand your ground, give him the tools, show him how to fight it, just like those 3,000 stone soldiers that Clement was talking about, and he'll become a better man, just like you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so all right, dealing with Dylan, that's gonna be number one. That's urgent. That's definitely first.
There you go.
Yeah.
Your kids are awesome, man. I gotta say, Dylan's the taller one, right?
Yeah,
He's a little sensitive. I see that, and that's totally cool.
yeah,
That's actually more chance for you to be impressionable on him because he's
Mm.
such a sensitive guy.
oh, that's Jaden. Jaden is very well, they're both
From what I saw.
from what you saw. Yeah,
But yeah, you're a great role model to do it. Have the time, take them away from the house, create an environment where it's actually they're listening to you, right? Where they
Mhm.
hear you. It's not just, have grandpa there in the corner listening and looking at stare, giving them the death stare kind of
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, thanks.
Of course. Hopefully today was helpful and you got your clarity for what to do next.
Yeah, thanks.
Gotta love these guys. I gotta give it to you too, man. 2 boys. I don't know how Russ is gonna do it with 3. That's ridiculous. But I got 1 boy and he's already a handful. So 2, shit.
You just figured a way, I guess.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no,
I love it though. I love the energy because I'm like that too. But
yeah.
anyway, good luck. Hopefully this helps and that you know what to do next.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, go make that dough. 6K in
Yes.
6 months.
Yeah, 60 in 6 months. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, I'll see
You
you
guys
guys.
in October.
Yeah, see you in October.
Great
In
week.
October.
Is that the
That's
next
right.
one?
Next week we don't have a call, right?
That's
Yeah.
right. So the 1st, October 1st is when we have the next one.
Okay. All right. I might be in Toronto that weekend. I will be in Toronto that weekend, but I will definitely try to make it.
All right.
Where in Toronto?
My cousin's having a baby, so we're going to her baby shower in Toronto. So
Nice.
we're gonna probably bring the boys to Niagara and stuff. But yeah, definitely gonna drive and just enjoy. That's it. Time with family.
Awesome. I've never been to Toronto.
Vancouver is nicer.
It is.
Way nice.
I agree.
Montreal too.
Okay. All right.
All right,
See you next
guys.
week.
Talk to you soon.
Take care, guys.
Have a good
Bye.
one.
Bye.